Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello, welcome.
Leslie Kristen here with my pro industry interview, and I am thrilled to be here with Milena Espinosa Dumas. Okay?
Bravo.
How's that?
Excellent.
Okay, it doesn't get any more beautiful than that name. I just have to share with you.
Thank you.
And I think most of you already know Milena because, of course, we all get our eyewear at SEE on Park Avenue in Winter Park because they have the coolest frames ever and the coolest people.
Thank you.
Yes.
I happen to agree with that 100%.
Yes.
So on point.
So even though I've known Milena for many, many years, I think we've kind of grown our friendship a little bit more over the past few months.
Correct.
Yeah. And I wanted to, as you know, I do these pro industry interviews because I love to share the cool clients and people that I know, and I love to interview them. So I have a good time. I think,
love it.
Yeah, so many people are so interesting, and we all have these cool businesses, and it's always, sometimes there's like these little gems that you just kind of have to share. And also I love to be able to just explore a little bit more. You know, I mean, they come in to see me for makeup and they come in to see you for eyewear. But we're going to get to know the Milena, who she really is, and, you know, all kinds of good juiciness there. So, yes.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So first off, I want to say that we are here at the Dumas Art Studio. So this is her husband's
sacred space.
Oh my
gosh.
That's
the best way of putting it.
Yes.
This is where all the art happens for John. And this is such a beautiful feeling. Just being in here, you can just feel, oh, this coziness. Don't you think? The other day when you walked in, it's like this space feels so good. And of course we have the gallery wall on the back that you may be able to see a little bit.
Yes, I'm going to share that with you in a little while because you have to see, I mean, I love everything art. So I would build walls just to hang some of this art there.
Yep. That's correct.
And so there's some more Cubist inspired work over there that I'm going to show you later. There's some very cool spiritual based, I would say, maybe.
Absolutely.
Some angels and things like that. Then there is, of course, a whole wall of nudes. Like, who doesn't want that, right? And funny enough, because you're probably wondering, because I asked her the same question. So Milena, is there a nude on this wall of you? And she said no. So
not yet, anyway. It hasn't happened in many years. It's difficult to be in the moment and be in the inspiration of all that it requires to make the art. We are actually living our lives, so it's very difficult for me to be posing, whether it is nude or with clothes on, and have John be. We're in constant chat, so it would have to be an appointment that we would have to make with each other maybe sometime in the future. I'm not gonna say no, but you never know what can happen.
Well, I have to say that you must have a painting done, because for those of you that maybe aren't artists, someone creating a painting for you or giving you a painting is giving you a piece of their soul. And it is the biggest honor, because the amount of work that goes into creating a painting. I've done some oils. I'm not by far, obviously I paint faces. That's my thing. But it is truly, you become immortalized.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
You're totally right. I love it. John, too bad John is not listening to these words to immortalize us both.
Yes. And I'm assuming that if someone wanted to commission John for a nude, they could do that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that it will take probably a little bit of talking him into it, but it's something that he would totally, comes natural to him. It's just
unbelievable.
Like you were saying, it's a piece of your soul. And yes.
So anyways, if any of you want a nude of yourself, and you don't have to be naked either, but Valentine's Day is coming up,
That's right.
That would be the ultimate, I would have to say. Wow. Okay. Let me share with you who Milena, I'm going to share with you her bio because there's all this fabulousness here. So Milena's new title
that's right,
is and this is official, this is not something that I created, is the badass brand ambassador for SEE Eyewear. It doesn't get any cooler than that. And for those of you that know Milena, and we were talking about this, she actually has been an employee of SEE Eyewear, and most of Winter Park thinks that it is, she owns the store, and you own it in your heart.
I own it in my heart. I grew it like a seed, along with many other people. But SEE Eyewear started or came into the Winter Park, Orlando area back in 2001, and I did not manage it then. My good friend that a lot of you already know, Gary Cohen, he is the one that was the original manager for SEE Eyewear. After a few years, he left, and I took on the reins of the management of SEE Eyewear, and have been doing so until last year. Last year was my last year in management at SEE Eyewear, and I passed on the torch to my then assistant manager, who had been with us almost 5 years, Marley Golden. So Marley has the keys to the kingdom of SEE in Winter Park right now, and by design, I wanted to continue to be there, as this is what I have been doing for so many years, and I love putting great eyewear on beautiful faces, and you can totally relate to this because you love doing the makeup and the transforming people, and you can learn so much about a person by the eyewear that they pick.
That's true.
Some people go and they get their tea leaves read. We don't do that there. I don't do that there. But hey, if you tell me what the glasses you learn through the years, and lots of years of listening of what people want, what they want to project, what they want to look professional. They want it to be invisible. They want to be sexy, younger, smart. Some people, believe it or not, want to look older. They have these baby faces, and in their profession, they're not taken seriously sometimes, and they want to own a piece that will elevate that professional look, and we can do all of that. And for that, in order to get to that point of knowing what to put on their faces, you have to listen carefully to see what it is that people are asking for. Sometimes they don't even know.
Absolutely. And the same with makeup too. A lot of times it's like, I'm 40 or 50 and I don't really know what I'm doing. And but they're brilliant at what they do. And so it's just funny. I don't know how to do taxes, or I don't know how to, go into a corporate. No, exactly. But it's interesting, especially, speaking to you, how eyewear, because you get to a certain age and I swear it happens when you turn 40, and then the next day your vision just goes, something happens to your vision. And especially if you're like me, that I need to see up close and then I see far away and content. And so you really need to, and like you said, detail. And, I don't ever kind of want to not look kind of cool,
like I always are cool, Leslie.
I want to look a little, fashionable and younger and funky. And so glasses completely do that.
They do. Mm-hmm. They do. You can hide behind them too. If you don't have any makeup on,
yes,
and you're going to Publix for that milk that you don't have for your pancakes on Sunday, and you can put on those glasses, run, and you look like you have makeup on sometimes.
Yeah, or I mean, look at all the rock stars. They all wear sunglasses.
All of them wear sunglasses. And yours at night.
Anywhere, anytime. So yes, glasses are really the ultimate accessory. And
good glasses.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes, that's true. Because, and I have to say, for some of you that might be out there watching, because glasses are an investment.
They are.
They're expensive. It is definitely an investment, but you can, and I would say, especially men, if they're watching, some ugly glasses take the hot factor like down to 0, you know?
100%.
A man with some cool glasses all of a sudden just became so much more attractive.
I'm with you.
Right?
It's a must that first impressions are first impressions.
Yeah.
And a good investment on eyewear is everything.
Yes.
It elevates your self-esteem. Once that you are constantly receiving all of those wonderful compliments, I always joke around. They sometimes look so natural that I said, people are going to ask you, did you shave your mustache? What did you do? You look so good. You look so different. And it's all on account of eyewear. Mm-hmm. It's an accessory. Also, men don't have a lot of accessories. Look at me.
Right.
I have this, I have glasses, and my hair is an accessory too. Mm-hmm. With men, they have facial hair. They have this, the mustache, and glasses can be everything.
They can. And what I love about going to your place, you know, because there's men that work there, there are women that work there, whomever you feel most comfortable with. But then I feel a lot of times it's hard to be objective with yourself. So going to an expert like you.
That's it. Therein lies the key to that. Having an expert assist you and advise what are those key principles to a good fit, the bridge, the width, the height. Are you wearing glasses that are above your eyebrows? That's not going to look very attractive. Are they completely sitting on your cheeks, and when you take them off at night, leaving these big circles on your cheeks? That's not going to work either.
Yeah. Or the nose. Sometimes they can hurt a little bit on the nose.
Exactly. Or are the temples, these are called the temples. A lot of people call them wings. They're not wings. They're not legs. They're called temples. Sometimes when the person puts them on, they open up like that. They're in a too small a pair of glasses. So there's so many things that we can advise you. And it's more important that you're fitted properly, regardless of what the price is. Not just because it's more expensive or we want to try to sell you that. No, fit is everything. If this is $200 and it fits you like a dream, forget the $400 one. Now, if it's the other way around, we're going to tell you. We speak from the heart. And I can say that about everybody at SEE Eyewear that I've worked for.
I love that. Speaking from the heart. And with that said, I want for you to share a little bit about, since, you know, kind of how you got here. And I don't know if you want me to share this introduction, but I do love that when Milena sent me her bio, and we did post that if you did get the, an email or on Facebook from us, it says here that she is a spicy Costa Rican.
I am.
I love that.
Those that know me would probably agree. Yes.
And so not only have you, and one shout out that I did want to share is that you were telling me, because I'm sure there's a lot of other entrepreneurs or businesswomen, you were telling me that the SEE store on Park Avenue is the number 2 of all the stores. And how many stores are there?
At the moment, 45.
45 stores.
45 nationwide. And
wow,
we kicked butt this year, and we were honored with receiving the 2nd place in the company.
Wow.
So we're thrilled.
That's huge.
Thrilled. It's huge. Here we are in Little Winter Park against these huge cities, New York, Los Angeles, Chicago. And here we are, Little Winter Park, the little engine that can and could and will, kicking ass.
I love that. So because I mean, a huge part of that is you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I haven't looked at, I know from being a business owner that it's impossible to find people like you. I mean, I have an amazing team and I love them. But I've been in business so long, and trust me, I've had some humdingers. And I'm sure you've had too.
Yes, the stories we can tell.
Yes.
General management are, wow.
Yeah. And so the fact that people think that you own the place because you treat it like your own, but for you, like the level of investment, what would you say to people out there? I mean, whether you own a business or not, how have you, how do you keep that growth and that success?
I think that before you think about the sale itself, for me,
mm-hmm.
and this is what I did all along, is about the relationship. So if you walk in and you buy glasses from me, thank you, Leslie, great. But if you don't, it doesn't really matter. The important thing is that you and I made contact, that now you came into the space. Now we have something. I love friends. I love relationships. And in my past life, I've been in this industry for 35 years.
Yeah.
I have been a licensed optician in the state of Florida for that long.
Wow.
And I've done a little bit of everything. I did a little bit of wholesale. I did a little bit of retail, independent, superstore. SEE Eyewear has been by far my favorite job altogether. Mm-hmm. And I've been there for 19 years.
Wow.
Since we opened the doors.
Mm-hmm.
Relationships is everything.
It is.
It is everything. And you're gonna tell me what your needs are, and if I can, I will fill those needs that you have. Mm-hmm. That's my number 1 rule for me. And then the rest falls into place. First, you tell what you have to offer. Mm-hmm. And then the sale just follows.
Yes.
And it's just like a puzzle that fits like a dream. Mm-hmm. And along the way, you create the best friendships. For me, mm-hmm. That has been the case. I do not own the building. I do not own the brand, but I'm invested in from the bottom of my heart with the people that I have touched and those that have touched me as well. And not only the customer, but the people that have worked there.
Yeah.
We're family. We are family. Yes. And so many people that are no longer there, we are still in touch. You know, it's
wonderful.
It's like Hotel California. You never leave. You never leave.
Yeah.
Because you leave those footprints mm-hmm. in my heart. And we create those heartstrings that are pretty much unbreakable. And if you are watching, a lot of you know who you are and
Absolutely.
how tight we are and how tight we have been through the years and will continue to be no matter what, whether you're there in the space or not.
I love that.
For me, that's it.
Yes. And I'm just going to pop over to Facebook for a second because
we need to reply a little bit.
I'm checking here to see what's happening.
All
Absolutely. Right. And let me see. So we have also, I love, here we go. Yes, we have, you have people from Costa Rica that are watching. You have Beatriz.
There's Beatriz, that's my bestie.
Yes.
Hola,
Elizabeth
Bati.
Birnbaum, which I think I did her wedding, actually.
How wonderful.
Hi there. Oh my gosh, Julie Little, we were just talking about you, my friend.
Yes, we were,
Julie. And Jennifer, hope you're feeling better, sister. I just spoke to her. I know. Isn't it fun having these friends that get to kind of come into the space of what we're talking about. One thing that, because there's so many things that I wanted to talk to you about, and I know that, and I love the continuum of you constantly go back to the heart. You, Milena, if you don't know her, you definitely need to meet her. Go to SEE, get some cool eyewear. It's, just a fun experience, or right on Park Ave. And then you can come see us over at Studio Cara. So
absolutely.
It's a win-win.
It's a whole complete package. And, I'm not there all the time. I'm there 4 days a week now that I step back to the ambassador department. I work approximately 4 days a week, sometimes 3 days a week. Mm-hmm. There's other things that I am developing. Like I was telling you, I enroll myself in the Toastmasters program. Ooh. For public speaking, for management development, for all those other things that come along. And I am also a life coach. Yes, that's what I wanted. That's the juiciness I want to get into now. Yes. So, yes, so she was telling me that a little bit about how you coach, and you're also going to be doing a workshop. And so I want you, so tell me, the Milena, because obviously speaking to you and you're sharing, you love people, you love relationships. I think that's why I love doing these pro-industry interviews, because I probably would have enjoyed being a therapist, but makeup is way too much more fun. So maybe not. But I love people, and I love getting, it's amazing when you ask questions how much people will tell you. Absolutely. Because it's so cool. It is. So you have decided at what point that you wanted to become a life coach, and what do you see happening with that? From a very young age, with Beatriz, who is watching, who is with us too. We are friends way back from high school, and we did our first personal improvement course way back when, last century actually. That was back in 1970 something. Not gonna reveal what 70 the rest of the year it was, but we did a course, and it was Silva Mind Control, and that kind of along with other things that my mother, who was this incredible woman, had infused in me through the years. Just if you don't feel good, just go put a smile on your face, and that's going to change it around. She was all about Napoleon Hill, Norman Vincent Peale, Zig Ziglar. Yeah. So I've been infused with all of that from a very young age. And it's become a part of my life. That's the way I see the lenses that I see life through. Are those filters that have been harvested in my brain. And when we were talking about a superpower, I would say my superpower is to be able to see a positive side to pretty much anything.
Wow.
And I was in the middle of a discussion with somebody. Well, okay, I tell you who that somebody is. My ex, many, many, many years ago.
Now it's getting good.
Now it's getting juicy. And he said something to me, and it was regarding a third party. And we were having this heavy duty discussion. And I said, yes, but at the end of the day, she really has to have something good. It's like, well, say one good thing. And I said, well, she really crochets really nice. And that was kind of like a turning point for me, because this was something kind of bad that was happening, and he was right. But there was something inside of me that couldn't let go, that this was still a human being, and that there was something that was in her that had to have some sort of grace. And that came out randomly, like unexpectedly, just came out. Yeah, but she sews well, or she crochets really, really pretty. And it kind of made me think, like, wow, that's true. And it was true. She made beautiful things. It was very artistic. And there was something that was happening in her life that didn't allow her to be all that she could be. And that was something that said to me, you need to grow that a little bit more, because it's in you naturally, innately. And as time continues to go and you go on your own journey of life and things happen, that indeed got bigger, and I could feel it. And when I went through my own personal being coached, and therapy, and being in group therapy, I learned so much that we are mirrors of each other.
Oh, yes.
So when we're in this group session and somebody's talking about her own deal, Milena, sitting on the other side, I had the same issue, just with different last names and different circumstances a little bit. But at the end of the day, it was the same thing. The same identical thing. The feelings were raw, and it helped me learn from that process. That's why I want to have a workshop, because when you do individual, it's great, it's beautiful. But when we have a group and we're looking at each other, and somebody brings something to the table that really has nothing to do with you, and you don't think you have anything to in common with that person, you do.
Absolutely.
And when you are sitting across somebody and you are repelling something about someone, watch out, because that same thing that you're trying to repel from that person is something that you don't like about yourself. And when you dig through it, you find it. It's so fulfilling to see how we can all together grow, and provided that we're given the proper tools, the right little sayings to bring yourself to focus, to be in gratitude, to ground yourself. I have God, but if you want to call it something else, your higher being, whatever it is amazing how having that grounding helps you develop and grow and support and be ingrained in that gratitude.
I agree so much in what you're saying. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about getting older, is that you really, I believe we're kind of similar in the sense that, we're not victims. We don't run life like that. If I did something stinky, I need to clean it up. I need to clean it up. I need to smell it. I need to sniff it. I need to turn it over. I need to explore that. And because that's exactly it. It's if something else is kind of, that it's being projected and whatnot, then, and it doesn't feel good to you, you're only hurting yourself.
That's correct. And to that you just said is, some we win and some we learn.
Always.
Some we win and some we learn. There is no losses. I was listening, my favorite pastime lately whenever I'm in the car is listening to podcasts. And in an interview, Dr. Phil said something about how long is it going to take you to learn this lesson? He was talking to this woman who kept on paying for the airplane tickets and for the clothes for this guy that she wanted to have come see her. And it's like, how long is it going to take you to learn this lesson? No, you don't do that. And she's like, well, okay, I'm finally getting it, Dr. Phil, thank you. And he's like, okay, so consider all of that you have invested in this person, consider that tuition. I love that.
Oh my God, I love that.
Consider that tuition. Okay, you can't recover it, but the lessons learned are priceless. And the School of Life, you know, speaking with Beatriz earlier, you know that we totally have PhDs in the School of Life.
That's what I call owning a business is my Harvard Business School. It's only time and money and more money and more time. And, you know, it's so true. However, I do want to say, I want to kind of go back to that point. And I didn't notice this. This was kind of like an aha that just happened, is there is something about, because being a makeup artist, you know, doing facials, being in that industry, and you are very close with people. You are very intimate with people.
Yes.
When you're putting you're way beyond that comfort zone. And there is something about us that we touch people.
Yes.
And there's so much transferring of energy, of boundaries, of space. And if you aren't clean, or if you aren't, like you said, you know, you come from that heartfelt space and you are really, and it seems like, you know, here we are, some people may be listening to like, oh, she just sells glasses. It's not just that. Nope. It's not just putting on makeup.
Far beyond.
It's not, there is so much in what we do or what we give and we get that made SEE number 2. Because not everybody has a Milena. Let's just get real. You know, when you're fabulous and you're a badass, you have to own it. And it's grace that you own it. It's not that you are, I think, you know, women have a hard time owning that. Like writing our bios and tooting our own horn, because it doesn't, it seems almost like you're just coming from a very proudful place, but it's a place that we've paid our dues and we've given every ounce we can give to be where we are. And it's time to like, hey, I think it's, and we are also the mentors, you know?
That's correct.
Yes. Because having a business out there, I have a mentor, I have a business coach, and I love her. Judy Awesome. If you're out there listening, I love you. And she has the most awesome last name.
Judy Awesome.
Her last name is awesome. Yes, she's amazing. And they are, and I have people that I mentor as well, just like, you know, you're starting these workshops. And for women to be able to have coaches, whether, you know, they're a man or what, no, a coach and a mentor is different. But very different. Have people in our life that genuinely open doors and from a heartfelt place believe in our success. And thank you, clients, because we have similar clients.
Trust. Yes.
It's complete gratitude that we are here today and that I get to do this kind of stuff. Like, I'm not paying you to be here.
Nope.
No one's paying me to be here.
Right.
We get to have fun and dance in different areas. Yes. But I kind of went on a tangent. I'm so sorry because
in
I
your
go there.
tangent, some of the things that you were saying, how difficult it is for us to write a bio, to write something about ourselves that somebody may think it's interesting. And I had to go through and dig through, like I said, so I pulled something that came from SEE Eyewear, Kim had written back when, and then I kind of pieced it together. That will be something I'm going to add to the workshop. Let's create our own bio. And have it. We should all have one. How come we don't? And keep it updated, almost like a resume.
Yeah. I mean, LinkedIn, I think, is probably something that has kind of, but a lot of times it's you're thinking, oh, I need a job. I need to get this done. But it's really, it's funny because at Cara now we have our declutter day. And this morning was our 2.5-hour declutter day. And every month we're doing a declutter day because you just, stuff just piles up. And there were things that I found in there. Oh my goodness. From when I was starting, and I have a box of PR stuff.
It's nice to walk through memory lane.
And you don't realize because we're on the treadmill every day. And you don't realize, you're like, wow, I did this and I did that. Oh my gosh. And I remember. And then all of a sudden, and here, I even talk about learning and mentors. I even had like old cassette tapes that you would buy, like the cassette tapes that you'd pop in, like, young kids, they don't even know what those things are. Yes.
You might have to give a definition if there's anybody younger out there. Give a definition of cassette tape.
Yes, and you actually had to rewind them too.
With a pencil. It's a little easier.
Oh yeah, so the things that...
But that's a great thing. I think that when you go and you start digging through old stuff, and it gives you a baseline. Look at old Leslie X amount of years ago, when she used to listen to cassette tapes, and look at the new modern revised version of Leslie and all the lessons learned in between. How beautiful is that?
I know.
How great is that to be able to have that as a baseline and trigger some memories of, dang girl, I've done so good. When this was an idea, it was like always kind of trying to imagine where you would be in the future. So thinking of yourself like in the future, like talking to the younger you, but in the reverse also. Like here is Leslie finding all these old things from young Leslie, and what advice would you've given to that young Leslie?
Right.
So if you take that, this is just something that just came to me randomly just now. Where do you want to be in another 5-10 years? So this is younger Leslie. What would older Leslie say to younger Leslie now?
Yes.
So, and that's for you too. Like take something as a baseline. Could be a picture, could be some sort of memory, and say, what would I tell my younger self? Knowing what I know now, what would I tell this picture myself? And with all the wisdom acquired through the years, through the time, through the trials and tribulations, and you dust it all off. And now looking, you are here today. Think of yourself 10 years from now. What would 10-year older person say to you today as of where you would want to be? Just something to think about.
Absolutely.
Just a coaching moment.
Yes. And it's interesting that you say that, because in my daily journal, thank you, Brendan Bouchard, love him. He doesn't quite say that, but he does say, if you were a high-powered coach, what would you tell yourself? Kind of similar in the sense of, okay, because you're always kind of projecting into the future. And us artists, or I'll just speak for myself, I don't know what year things happen, and I've always despised like being super organized and thinking. I'm just not somebody that is a planner. And I've had to do that and really discipline myself owning a business, because I'm just definitely much more free flowing and didn't want that stuff to tie me down. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're more spontaneous.
Yes.
Less planning, but there's always some planning along the way.
Well,
just more spontaneity is.
It feels good to plan, though. It really does. It feels good to not have a bunch of chaos around you, and to know or to anticipate. That was another thing, what could, in the journal, it's like, what could be the one thing today that can kind of throw you off course? And you kind of look at your day and go, and then how would you deal with that? So, accident on 1792 on my way down here. We started a little later, just so kind of things like that. It just makes you, I think, be able to own your life and like you said about being grounded.
Yeah.
And not have it be chaotic or there are just some people, don't you have those clients that are always in a hurry, no matter what it is? It's like, and that energy, you just feel like they have a towel and they're like splashing it everywhere.
Well, you can't really have a treatment in a hurry. You can't really come in and take classes in a hurry, though some people try. But it's practically impossible. There's a lot of things that I need to know. Mm-hmm. Are they going to be for reading? Are they going to be for running? Are they going to be sunglasses prescription? Are you going to sit in front of a computer? Same thing for you. If you're doing a treatment, or if you're just doing, and you can't do relaxation in a hurry. That's just not gonna happen.
No. And of course. And that's, trust me. And I go 100 miles a minute all the time too.
Yes, you do. I've seen you.
I even walk fast. My stepdad taught me how to walk fast. Okay. So Costarricense, when did you come here to the United States?
I moved to the United States back in 1981 to continue my education.
Okay.
Along the way, I didn't continue to pursue what I originally wanted to do, which was marketing and public relations. Interesting, because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. I started in engineering. That didn't work. It's like, no, that this chemistry business is not for me. The math part was fine. Mm-hmm. The grace of God led me to my first official job here in the United States, which was in the Tampa Bay Mall at the Montgomery Wards. Remember Montgomery Wards, some of you?
Yes.
Montgomery Wards. In
wow.
Tampa Bay Mall. There was a little ad. Remember those? In the
newspaper, right?
Newspaper ads was about this big, tiny little writing. Part-time help needed, no experience necessary, bilingual preferably. I fit, bing, bing, bing. I fit all of those categories. To my surprise, we were going to a recession. I didn't really know because I was only 20-ish. Mm-hmm. So that was not really affecting me and my 20-year-old head. But when I walk in to fill out the application to get my interview, there were about 60 people there.
Wow.
And again, just having to be a little hustler at the time, I snuck in like third into the interview. They liked me and they hired me. I grasped onto what it entails to the optical. And apparently I picked it up quicker than most kids they would hire at that time. And my boss then said, Milena, you really are you're getting everything so fast. Why don't you go to school for this? And well, the school is here in Tampa. Just go and do it. And after I pondered it for a little bit, I went, I applied, and then the rest is history. Here I am.
There you are.
Yes. Yeah. And I never went back home to Costa Rica to live. I stayed here. Shortly after that, I got married and 2 children, and now remarried to my soulmate. Aww. And we have together 4 children and 4 grandchildren.
Wow. And since we are close to Valentine's Day,
yes.
So how did you meet?
John and I met at SEE Eyewear.
Oh!
That magical place that makes things happen all the time. I was walking a difficult time in my life because my first marriage, I never thought that divorce would be something that would happen to me. Mm-hmm. That's something that happens to somebody else, but not to me. That was so foreign in the rest of my life that, whoa. So anyway, this friend had come in to make a purchase, to do and get an adjustment on his glasses or something. And he picked up on my energy immediately. And I asked him what he needed, and he's like, no, what's up? What's up with you? What's up, kiddo? Were his words. I took a deep breath and I kind of filled him in, and it's like, hang in there, a couple words of wisdom, big hug. And he left. Once a week, he would come, probably for, I don't know, 8 months. Religiously, he would poke his head in or just come in to give me a hug and say, how you doing? You got this. Little did I know, he was talking to somebody else on the other side, giving him information about me. Wow. And one random day, this man walks in the door with his daughter and told me that this person told him to come in to see and ask me out, just like that. Well, that's exactly what he said. It's Milena. So-and-so told me to come in here and ask you out. And I was like, whoa. Nice to meet you too.
That's a little weird.
But he trusted him, and John.
Oh,
yeah, and that was a little.
It
was a little funny. And those of you that know the story, you know how like that it was. It's like, oh my gosh, that was direct and to the point and little strange.
Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. So was it kind of like love at first sight, or
no? I was very worried about never, like, not having relationships at the moment, because no, I just had trying to get out of something emotionally and in therapy, and I didn't want to be leading anybody the wrong direction. And I decided that it would be good and healthy to just have a friend, that he seemed nice, that he knew this other person that had been supporting me for so many months emotionally and being so kind, and that if he knew him and they were friends, that I had nothing to lose having a friend. And
that's a great point.
That I wasn't going to close doors, and I was actually going to a ladies' retreat to feed my spiritual need.
Nice.
And I had mentioned it to him. I'm going to this ladies' retreat, and they do it for men. And he said to me, I've never done anything like that, but I would love to do something like that. So he decided to go to the retreat for the men.
Oh.
And it just sparked, like, wow, what a nice thing to do for himself. Mm-hmm. And our friendship continued to grow. And I accidentally invited him to go with me to a wedding.
That always does it.
We were talking, and before I knew it, I kind of implied that if he would go with me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what have I done? It was all in the design of what needed to happen. And here we are.
Wow. Well, that is
so nice.
What a full circle.
Sweet, sweet, sweet man that I'm
married
to.
It's a mirror of you. Oh my goodness. Speaking of mirrors, we've come full circle here. You've found your mirror. I want to share with the audience this incredible space.
Yes, this is an incredible space.
This is an incredible space, and you'll have to ask Milena or John to come visit someday. He's actually, when I first came here last week, he actually commissions murals.
Yep.
And he turns them into a wallpaper, I guess.
Well, the way he works the process is he is commissioned whatever it is. In this particular case, is it's like a cartoon, and he likes to control his space. So he works here in this studio. Mm-hmm. Precision is incredible with mm-hmm. him, because when he goes and he measures where this is going to be, he has to know where the bed's going to go, where the window is, where the doorknob is, where the light's coming from.
Wow.
I mean, those of you that have had work done by John Dumas, what excellence you're getting. One little thing that we usually say is like, excellence is what you can provide, because perfection you can only get in heaven. So excellence is what you get,
I love that.
Isn't that
excellence is what you provide?
Yes, excellence mm-hmm. to the T, because the detail that he goes into. So he puts his canvas, it's like muslin, mm-hmm. and he staples it on the wall, mm-hmm. and he again controls this environment, mm-hmm. and we can show them the colors that he mixed.
Yes.
And everything is put here. He has scaffolding. He makes himself as comfortable to produce this.
Yeah, these ceilings are super high in here, and there's skylights,
because he wanted natural light to be able to be filtered into here. And then once the mural is done and sealed, it's rolled up onto a carpet roll. I think they may be able to see some in a minute. Uh-huh. And they get rolled up. When it's ready for installation, then the carpet rolls are taken, and a wallpaper hanger puts them on the wall. And that's how the process works.
That's incredible.
For his end.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes. So for very particular clients that would create or want something like this at this level created, obviously, very special.
Very, very special.
And well, I want to show them some of this. This is by far my favorite space. And please. I want to thank you for sharing so much with our audience that now they know you, they can walk into. Before though, I do want to ask you, do you want to share how people can reach you? I mean, obviously besides SEE, and what do you have an idea of when your workshop is going to happen?
It is going to be in May. I will definitely post about it. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the first or the second Sunday in May. No, actually it's going to be the first Sunday, because the second Sunday I think is Mother's Day. So we're not going to do that.
Okay.
And I believe it's the 3rd. So we're giving it a date. Pressure's on Milena. Yes. I believe it's Sunday the 3rd.
Yes. And you have a limited space because it's here.
It's going to be here.
Actually here in this working space.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Yeah. And the details will follow.
Nice. So I'll be sharing those as well when she gives them to me, because I want to support you in that fabulousness.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's going to be fantastic.
It's
what you're going to be able to walk away, not just empowered, mm-hmm. but with so many tools to grow, to continue to bloom and blossom.
Absolutely. There's no other way to do it.
No other way to do it.
Yes. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. I have definitely enjoyed getting to meet you. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So good.
And I'm going to turn this camera around so you all can see what we have here, because this is just beautiful. And I don't know how far. I want to show you. This is actually the mural, and it is, I don't know if you can see the drawings, and it looks like It's from the movie Cars, because I do recognize that, and I love that movie. And so he's been already painting. So he starts from the top almost, huh? And then kind of works his way down.
Yeah. So he has the sky is done. You might want to tilt it up a little bit so they can get a better shot of the clouds there, and a little bit of the mountains is what as far as he's gotten so far.
And I can't remember the name of the truck.
Mater.
That's right. It's Mater. And so here now, is this chalk? Is that watercolor?
Move it over a little bit more. Yes, that is actually pastels.
Oh, they're pastels.
Yeah, and there's some are pastels, some are charcoal.
Okay, so
yep.
I just want to, you guys can see it is phenomenal.
John did an art opening at Maxine Sunshine about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And he also had one at the Grand Bohème. Probably about a little bit after that. And he's been very busy doing other stuff, so it's been hard for him to have new stuff this is art. This is his fine art.
Okay.
And then what you saw behind, with the mural that is more commercial.
Yes. And look at this. Now we're getting into a completely different type of art so, you can tell that with Milena, she just has love surrounded all over.
Absolutely.
From your husband. So look at all of this. This is his workshop here. It's just incredible. And this is where you're also going to be using the space for your workshop.
This is where the workshop is going to be. Yes.
How fun is that? I just love that. And Milena, this has just been a beautiful, beautiful interview.
Thank you for the opportunity, Leslie. When you mentioned it to me, I was good to go. I was ready to go.
It has been so much fun, and I want to thank you very much. And I sure hope that our audience, and I know lots of you, thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Absolutely. You are, we've enjoyed being here with you, and I just wanted to sign off. If you want to meet Milena in the flesh, in person, SEE Eyewear.
Come to see me.
Yes.
Tuesday,
get some glasses.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
And we're going to be doing probably a pop-up soon too.
We are going to do a pop-up together.
And we're going to, so if you have questions about eyewear, or about even, like you were saying, what colors do you wear? Like you've got your fun red glasses, and I've got
accessories are everything. Eyewear, necklace.
We have a mutual good friend, Hillary Brown, who is the queen of eyeglasses. So hi, Hillary. Yes, she is. And has lots of fun with it. And very distinctive look that she has too.
Absolutely. So and don't be scared either. If you want something very simple, clean lines, you don't have to go all cat-eyed or anything like that. You can just do something that suits you, and we have it.
Yeah, there's all kinds of styles.
It's there.
Yeah, you've got great styles, and I've loved being able, which I've loved. I've had these forever. I have had these forever. I love them.
The purple temple.
I know. Oh yeah, that's the temples. So thank you so much for watching. Leslie Kristen from Studio Cara and Cara Cosmetics. You can check out our website. We just, create transformation every day and help you with, having a beautiful life.
Amen.
Yes.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you
for coming into this space.
Bye. Thank you for inviting us.